All right, Sheldon Dingwall here, NAMM 2025. Have you guys noticed that it feels like it's pre-pandemic, where the excitement is, it's so great to be back here. SP1. So this is from the very first production run of the SP1. We've been working on this for about 5 years. It's lightweight, it's very comfortable, high quality maple, two-piece alder body. We worked on these pickups and we've got them to sound to our ears to be the best P pickups we've ever heard for what we're looking for. Simple, passive. This would be entry level to Dingwall. Let's say $2,300. This is the most current spec of the Afterburner One. The Afterburner One, today is his 25th anniversary. We displayed it at NAMM in 2000 for the very first time. 25 years later, we're still making them. It's still one of our top sellers. This one features a northern ash, roasted northern ash neck, which is lightweight. That is the natural color of it. And it is a wood that just, it feels like you can play less hard and get the same amount of output. It really is a great partner to the player. Minimalist bridge, we make these in-house. The advantage of these is the entire plate can be raised and lowered via a shim system, which allows you to keep the angle over the saddle to a minimum, and it extends your string life by a significant amount. Speaking of anniversaries, this is Lee Sklar's 30th anniversary of working with Dingwall. And Lee unfortunately couldn't be here. He's over in the UK with Law Lovett. But this is his signature model, mandolin frets. They feel amazing. People are sometimes worried that the mandolin frets will wear too quickly, but you can get easily 10 years of life out of these before having to worry about dressing them. I don't even think I'd recommend dressing them. Replace them after 10 years. But the feel you get is as close to a fretless as you can get. We have two master builders. We have Paul Hilliker, who's been with the company for 15 years. And Paul can do anything in the shop, and he can do it better than I ever could. Simon, you might be familiar with Pedalka guitars out of Russia. So Simon came to Canada to work with us. Both Paul and Simon have their own brands of guitars. They build Dingwalls through the week, and then evenings and weekends, they build Pedalkas and Hillikers. And so these two master builds are, Paul, you've been building Prima artists. What would you do if you're going to build one for yourself? And so that would be the wood he would have picked for himself. That would be the finish he would have sprayed if it was for himself. He kept it in the black and gold theme, which is our logo. And so when it comes around, you'll notice it has Evo gold frets, polished brass saddles, and riser screws, and then brass bullseye side dots. Also, you notice that the grain goes right through the pickups. That's because the pickup tops were cut from the top prior to gluing the whole thing together. One mistake and you've ruined the entire base. One piece flame maple body, flame maple neck, Paul's exclusive inlay, and this will stay in North America or Asia. Simon's will go to Europe, and the sales system is we're going to base it off of selling Ferraris when they do a special run. The owner will need to already own at least two Dingwalls, at least one custom shop, so that we know it's going to a home of somebody that can appreciate what we do. Simon is a son of an architect, a very accomplished architect in Russia. Simon's also trained as an architect. And so he went for a different type of concept. Oftentimes, they will clad high-end buildings in titanium because it's impervious to weather and it changes color during the day. So Simon spent about a month developing this finish so that it looks like titanium, but it doesn't hit you over the head, titanium. And if you stand further back, the flame maple looks like carbon fiber. And so titanium, carbon fiber, but done with natural materials. And if you look really closely at the inlay, this is one of the things that Simon does. It's a Pedalka exclusive. The amount of craftsmanship that you have to be capable of to pull something like that off without blowing it is mind-boggling. Flame maple pickups, fingerboard, neck, and knobs, as well as contrast stripe. In October, I had a chance to spend a week in Nashville with the top players on the Broadway circuit. These guys play 12 hours a day, sometimes 6 days a week. One guy I talked to had a memorized catalog of 4,000 songs, and so they don't have the headspace for complicated controls, and they're Fender guys, and so they need something that sounds like a Fender, is familiar like a Fender in terms of controls, but has a Dingwall. Our hope is that they appreciate a Dingwall spin on it. The other guys that I spent time with were the studio guys, and these are all guys that are at the top level, Grammy award-winning albums. And I took all that feedback and went home, and I felt really inspired. But it wasn't until a couple of months later that it started to click and form this Nashville edition. It's a combustion that we've upgraded to Nashville, our Nashville style specs. So we haven't done a blend since the 90s, and the reason is that blends, they rob a lot of the high end in output, and we've always wanted as much as we can get out of the bass. But it's a familiar control, and so toggle switch down, you have the blend between the outside pickups, very traditional. If you want a P sound, toggle switch up, and it solos the middle pickup, which is in the P position. Or if you leave it in the middle, it combines this with the blend, and you can blend between a bridge humbucker and a neck humbucker. Leave it in the middle, and you have all three. It also features the Rupert Neve design bass preamp, which they designed for us. It's the only one in the world onboard bass preamp by Rupert Neve design. It is studio quality, dead quiet no matter how you set it. It's subtle, it's light. You cannot get a bad sound out of it, no matter how hard you try. The first bass we put the Rupert Neve design preamp in was the John Taylor bass. And John Taylor, of course, I don't think there has been a time in the last 40 years when a Duran Duran song has not been on a radio somewhere in the world. So this is his model. We have 4 colors that are based off of the Rio album. This too is based off the Rio album, but it's a quieter stealth version. And it's for the bass player who wants to visually stand back in the band, not stand forward in the band. And 5-string version of the SP1. We have a really talented fine artist at our shop, and so I asked him to do a modern version of Tortoiseshell. And so he came up with this, and I had him do 20 versions, and now they're digitally printed, but it's modern Tortoiseshell basically is what it's done. So the SP1 is 4 and 5 string only at this point. The first shipment is on its way to us now, and we'll be shipping them by end of February, mid-March. The NG. The NG has been our most popular model by far for over 10 years now. Ish Guitars in Syracuse came to us and asked if we could do a custom blended finish for a minimum quantity. And we said, yeah, sure, we'll give it a try. And so we brought it here to show other dealers that get creative, we're willing to work with you. So thank you very much. I hope you guys are enjoying the show, and I look forward to seeing you again next year. Awesome.